What's up, guys? AB Investments is back with you. I promised that I was gonna make no more videos for the night, but I'm up for the pre-market hours. And Joe, you asked a very, very valid question. I was gonna cover it tomorrow in a video, but you know, I can't wait. I'm just as excited as you are. So therefore, I'm making it right now. Hopefully, it makes its way to all the people tomorrow because I know these hours, not a lot of people are up. So without further ado, please like the video to push it out to more people when they wake up tomorrow. Subscribe to the channel if you haven't yet. And you know by now, I am not a financial advisor. So first off, guys, check out the Common Sense Investors video that he just put out like about almost an hour ago. Very, very, very valid point that the man is saying. I've mentioned it like a while back, like when I first came on about, I think it was about 3-4 weeks ago, in one of the older videos. And then when I shared it on Facebook, I caught a lot of heat for it because a lot of people were saying that, you know, oh, you're part of the problem, you're the FUD, you don't know anything, and all that kind of stuff. You know, all I did was mention that I have two accounts, two broker accounts. One of them was Webull, and the other was with TD Ameritrade. And you know, they were like, "You got a DRS," and trust me, guys, from my personal point of view, I don't trust that whole DRS thing. Again, I'm not a financial advisor, so I don't know if it could be good or bad, but at least with any broker app, whether small or big, you know, I have someone to contact, I have someone to sue. In the same time, I do know that Apex is through Webull, and when you go on the DTCC brokers that are covered by the DTCC, are one of them is obviously Apex Clearing. Now, whether it's shady or not, I don't think any of them are innocent. So therefore, that was all it. You know, I was just saying the same thing. So if you haven't checked out the Common Sense Investor video, please go check it, and you'll understand more about what this whole thing I'm talking about is about. So Joe, I'm answering the question: how do we check throughout the squeeze, or when the run up happens? How do we check, you know, the short interest? Is it changed or not, and all that stuff? Well, right now, just like we're checking the short interest and it's at 100%, a lot of people, some people say don't trust Ortex. I personally don't trust it because, again, I like none of these regulations are in place. So therefore, I just, you know, like the old system, we know what it's been doing. It's been a whole year, and short interests have been through the roof, sometimes at 20%, sometimes at 30%, sometimes at 17%, and now at 100%. And you know, then it drops and it goes back up and nothing changes. So I do want to say, I do believe at least that when all these regulations are passed, all the other crap, the reporting crap, all that would change. I think that the systems will be getting the same, that when the transparency rules are in effect, you know, companies are reporting at the end of every business day, they're going to report, you know, and throughout the trading, short interest, whether it's dropping or not. And since it's part of the transparency, it can't be something that's manipulated with. Otherwise, shit, if these guys are that insane, then, you know, you risk doing crazy prison time. Like, besides manipulation, this is like way over manipulation. This is like manipulation of manipulation, you know, manipulating the manipulated. So I would, you know, the Ortex has, I think, a 1 week free trial if you've never subscribed with them. Maybe wait until the run up happens and then go and subscribe right away, because if you know how to read the short interest, I mean, it's kind of very simple. Once you log in and you create that account, and you can cancel it right after. I mean, you can cancel it before that week ends, so that you don't get charged, I guess, that monthly or that annual fee. So watch out. If you don't remember to unsubscribe, then it will stay on there, and then they'll charge you manually, automatically. Again, whether you go buy or not, I'm not a paid sponsor for Ortex or none of that stuff. I'm just giving you like how you can read it. Plus, you got a lot of community members that are constantly posting, Ortex, data. There's some other services, but this one, most of the people know. So therefore, when all the regulations are in effect, everything will be reported, and so will all the data that will be reported to Ortex that reports it to you and me. So I would look at that venue. Now, here's the thing. Remember in my previous videos that I said, if the price action is moving like today's, like 10%, 12%, 10%, 9%, then that's when you really have to be worried, because that could easily be a trap waiting to be laid, or it's laid out at that point, and they're just trying to cash out on options and basically get people to buy in, and then it runs up, but then it only runs that 9-10%, and then in the very next day or in the aftermarket it drops. So how do we know it's squeeze up time? Like, numbers are for real when you start seeing some real movements like 40-50%. Again, 40-50% is nothing to AMC's price action. If you look at the price that we're at right now, $17, $18, so 50% run up is like $14. We will still be right back at the bottom 30s at that point. So it would be like $31, $32, and we know that that's not even close to that whole $73 FUD theory, whether you believe in that or not. That's still like literally less than half of that price. So, but 50%, like, I know when you say 50%, I was like, wow, that's a crazy run up. But that's with fundamental plays, fundamental stocks, not a squeeze play. In a squeeze play, you're talking about crazy movements where things can move 200, 300, 400% in a matter of an hour or less. That's because, it's just a frenzy. I know you guys watched the movie, The Big Short and Margin Call and all that stuff. So that's how crazy it becomes, because everyone will start picking up that phone and they will start calling in and trying to unload all their positions to be as soon or to be first to go. Because once the shorting covering begins, the first one in, then after that, the price of the stock starts going up naturally. And then the next person who wants to cover at that point, or margin to cover, they would have to cover at those numbers. And if they don't take that chance instantly, quickly, then you're going to get like you might get just completely vanquished, because, the price might run up to $100 before the first halt even comes, like at the first halt. I do believe they will halt it way before then, but if it becomes a frantic situation where it just runs up crazy from the first candle, like from the first covering, we do know that these companies have crazy amounts of shorts on this stock. So therefore, all synthetics will be gone by then. As far as like creating more synthetics to dump on us, it will be just about buying back those synthetics. It won't be just creating new. No more creating new once all these regulations pass through, whether it's the 3rd, whether it's now, whether it's, the end of April, as I was looking at in the documents on the Federal Register a few weeks back. So whatever case it is, I'm just trying to tell you that the way that you kind of get a little more conviction that this is the run-up is when you start seeing crazy price action. When you start seeing small price action, I mean, personally for me, and again, I'm not advising what to do and how to go about it, but when I start seeing like today's movement, I'm not inclined to buy. I'm not inclined to do anything. I'm not inclined to touch the stock, because that's when I'm worried, because that looks like something that's going to get the hype crowd on just to trap them. And then next thing you know, they're dumped. And now all the money that you wanted to use, whether for other plays while you're waiting on the squeeze, or whether you wanted to wait for a better timing so that you could possibly, who knows, like some people, okay, I'll tell you, some people that I know, they're planning to do some option plays on the run-up time. When the run-up happens, that's when they want to do it. Now, obviously, I don't advise in any of this, because there's just so much uncertainty around the options, and you don't know if, I mean, again, even if the price runs and you have the options, one question that we all have to ask, no one has the answer to. people can talk maybe like they know the answer to it, but for definitively, no one knows. Will the brokers, doesn't matter who it is, big or small, DRS, whatever, will they process your order, your sell, at whatever number it is? That's a good question. We need to know, we need to find an answer to that. If anyone knows the answer to that, please put it in the comment section. You know, and I want to know like a definitive answer that proves that. Otherwise, you're in a, like, you know, they don't have to cover calls, they have to cover your shares. So again, I'm not throwing out FUD, guys. I'm just putting out a question. So if you have the answer to that question, then you're all good. I just lay out things as they go. Now, things to watch out for, like I said, price action. If the price action is not titty jacked up, then it's not the it's not possibly the move that we're anticipating. And if it is the move, then you would know it the very following next day, because it's not gonna all happen in one moment and be done in one moment or in 1 day or 1 hour. So keep your heads up, guys. If you have any questions, please put them in the comment section. Like the videos so we can pass it to more people. If you haven't subscribed again, subscribe, because you just need to subscribe by this point. Come on, you're listening to me at 4 o'clock in the morning. You have to subscribe. So much love. Peace out, Joe, and everyone else.